African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation on the 14th of November, 2024. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct a special military operation. Units of the North Group of Forces in the Kharkov Direction inflicted defeat on formations of the 71st Jaeger Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 113th and 120th Territorial Defense Brigades in the areas of the settlements of Volchansk and Liptsy in the Kharkov region. The Ukrainian Armed Forces lost up to 80 servicemen, 2 armored combat vehicles and 7 cars. Units of the West Group of Forces improved their tactical position and defeated the manpower and equipment of the 14th, 60th, 116th Mechanized, 25th Airborne Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, the 119th, 241st Territorial Defense Brigades and the 1st National Guard Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Terny of the Donetsk People's Republic, Zagrozovo, Lozovaya, Bogoslavka, Kovsharovka, and Petropavlovka of the Kharkiv region, as well as the Serebryansky Forestry. 2 counterattacks by the 14th and 28th Mechanized Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces were repelled. The enemy lost up to 570 servicemen, an infantry fighting vehicle, a U.S.-made M113 armored personnel carrier, 7 vehicles, 2 122mm D-30 howitzers for Anklavin and Kvertis electronic warfare stations, and a Plastin electronic reconnaissance station. 3 field ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the Southern Group of Forces improved the position along the front line, defeated the formations of the 30th, 33rd, 56th, 81st Mechanized, 56th Motorized Infantry, 46th Airmobile, 79th Airborne Assault Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the 116th Territorial Defense Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Zeleznyanskoye, Drushkovka, Datlivka, Orakovo-Vasilevka, Reznikovka, Kurakovo, Anavka, and Seversk of the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy's losses amounted to 655 servicemen, 3 tanks, an infantry fighting vehicle, an armored personnel carrier, 13 vehicles, a UK-made 155mm self-propelled artillery unit Braveheart, a Polish-made 155mm self-propelled artillery unit Crab, a 155mm howitzer M777 and a 105mm M119 gun made in the USA, 2 122mm D-30 howitzers, and a 122mm RAK-SA-12 multiple launch rocket system made in Croatia. 2 stations were destroyed: electronic warfare system Anklavin, electronic intelligence station Plastin, and 2 ammunition depots. Units of the Center Group of Forces continued advance into the depths of the enemy's defense and liberated the settlement of Voznesenka. The manpower and equipment of the 33rd, 53rd, 100th, and 109th Mechanized, 95th Airborne Assault, 5th Mountain Assault, 142nd Infantry Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, and the 101st Territorial Defense Brigade were damaged in the areas of the settlements of Zelenoy Pole, Leonidovka, Druzhba, Dzержinsk, Sukaya Baka, and Dimitrov of the Donetsk People's Republic. 11 counterattacks by the 53rd, 117th Mechanized, 152nd Jaeger Brigades, 49th and 425th Assault Battalions of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, and the 35th and 38th Marine Brigades were repelled. The enemy lost over 485 servicemen, a Marder infantry fighting vehicle, 5 Cossack armored fighting vehicles, a Kirpi armored fighting vehicle, 5 cars, a U.S.-made 155mm M777 howitzer, a 152mm D-20 gun, 2 152mm Stabi howitzers, a 122mm Gvozdika self-propelled artillery unit, and 2 122mm D-30 guns. Units of the East Group of Forces improved their position along the front line and defeated the formations of the 128th Mountain Assault Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 127th and 128th Territorial Defense Brigades in the areas of the settlements of Velika Novosilka, Oktyabr of the Donetsk People's Republic, and Temirovka of the Zaporizhia region. 2 counterattacks by assault groups of the 123rd Territorial Defense Brigade were repelled. The enemy's losses amounted to 145 servicemen, a tank, 3 armored combat vehicles, and 6 cars. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces inflicted losses on the manpower and equipment of the 141st Infantry Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 107th, 124th, and 126th Territorial Defense Brigades in the areas of the settlements of Kharkov, Sherbaki in the Zaporizhia region, Sadovo, and Poniatowka in the Kherson region. The Ukrainian armed forces lost up to 90 servicemen, 7 vehicles, and a 152mm D-20 gun. Operational tactical aviation, strike unmanned aerial vehicles, missile troops, and artillery of the groups of troops of the armed forces of the Russian Federation inflicted damage on the infrastructure of military airfields, energy facilities that ensure the operation of enterprises of the military-industrial complex of Ukraine, as well as concentrations of enemy manpower and military equipment in 142 districts. Air defense systems shot down 6 U.S.-made HIMARS multiple launch rockets and 78 unmanned aerial vehicles aircraft-type aircraft. Since the beginning of the special military operation, a total of 648 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 35,785 unmanned aerial vehicles, 585 anti-aircraft missile systems, 19,208 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,488 multiple launch rocket systems, 17,845 field artillery pieces and mortars, and 28,261 special military vehicles have been destroyed. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.